Welcome back. So now we're presented with this additional challenge of keeping the disturbance to under 5,000 square feet. Otherwise, we would have to go through an additional process that would add 6 to 12 months to our timeline. That would present a whole host of issues for our family. And furthermore, the sellers are not going to wait 6 to 12 months for a decision. They're anxious to get this property sold now. So if we can't figure this out sooner rather than later, it's going on the multiple listing service and somebody else is going to scoop it up. So we really needed at this point to find a surveyor and figure this out, just make it happen. We did find a great surveyor, and he was able to explain to us that to minimize the disturbance as much as possible, we needed to look at the footprint of the existing house and then build the footprint of the new house to overlap as much as possible. Seems pretty logical, right? So here's what he came up with. This is the first drawing he presented to us, and this probably looks a little bit familiar too. There is the property line. This blue rectangle here is the existing house, and this funky shape is actually the existing driveway. He was quick to point out that if we were to demo this existing driveway, that would add so much additional disturbance. So he suggested that it would probably be in our best interest to leave it for now, look at some clever creative landscaping to kind of disguise it a little bit, and then demo it 5 or 6 years down the road. So, okay, may as well give it a shot. If that's what's going to work for us, that's fine. Then what he did is, so let's look into some nice round numbers. Let's do a 50 by 60 square foot footprint. So he did that here, this red line, and as you can see, it overlaps the existing house as much as possible. And then he came over to the side and built a driveway that's 20 feet wide, enough to accommodate a 2-car garage. And then he drew this pink line all the way around that and leaving some additional room to calculate the disturbance. Guess what our disturbance number was? 6,700 square feet. Yeah, 30+% over the 5,000 were allotted. So we're like, okay, let's look at some other scenarios. We're certainly not ready to give up yet. So went back again and said, let's look at a 40 by 40 footprint. And then, although it's not ideal, let's make a narrower 10-foot driveway, and we'll just figure that out afterwards. So here's how that worked itself out. Here is the 40 by 40 house footprint. Here is the 10-foot wide driveway. And then that makes the disturbance quite a bit smaller, bringing it down to, ready for this? 4,785 square feet. I'm like, yes, we've got this figured out. We are in such great shape. And then Jay, the reality of my life, comes in and says, yeah, in theory, it technically is under 5,000 square feet. However, if a bulldozer comes in and accidentally pulls up a little bit more earth than it's supposed to, that's going to add on to the square footage. And they're really just with 4,785 square feet of disturbance that's planned for. The reality is there are always surprises and always mistakes. Thanks for bursting my bubble. Yeah, I really appreciate it. You know what I said? Well, honey, I'm going to do 2 things. Number 1, I'm going to figure out how to go back to that original 26-foot deep footprint of the house, and I'm just going to make a floor plan that's going to work for us because I really want to make this happen. And I want to make it happen so much that I'm going to go to the sellers now and make an offer. He's like, are you kidding me? Are you completely crazy? I just don't know how this is going to work. And I said, I don't either, but we're going to figure it out. So I called the seller. Come back next time and I'll tell you what that conversation was like. Thanks, and I hope you have a great day.